In the annals of ancient warfare, tales of formidable weapons abound, siege engines, chariots, and fearsome legions. But what if one of history's most devastating instruments of war wasn't a blade or a projectile, but an unseen force, a terrifying sound capable of shattering enemy morale and even minds? Welcome to Echoes of Time, your portal to the forgotten pages of history, where we reveal the secrets that lie under the dust of centuries and tell the stories that never made it into the history books. Today, we delve into one of humanity's most chilling enigmas, a purported lost acoustic weapon whispered about in fragmented historical texts and archaeological whispers, the legend of the Scream of Carthage. Our journey takes us back to a time of empires locked in existential struggles, where ingenuity and military prowess determined the fate of nations. Carthage, a powerful maritime empire, stood as a formidable rival to Rome, a civilization renowned for its strategic brilliance on land and sea. Their conflicts, the Punic Wars, carved a bloody swath across the ancient world, shaping the very foundations of Western civilization.
Carthaginian military might was well documented, from their innovative naval tactics that challenged Rome's dominance of the seas, to their elite mercenary armies, fearsome warriors drawn from across the Mediterranean. Historical records meticulously detail their triumphs and defeats, their strategies and their armaments. Yet, nestled within these vast chronicles, amidst accounts of spears and shields, triremes and siege towers, lie faint, almost ghostly mentions of something far more insidious, something that could turn the tide of battle without a single physical blow. Scant, enigmatic references hinted a weapon far beyond the conventional understanding of ancient warfare. Ancient chroniclers, often dismissive or cloaked in the superstitions of their age, occasionally penned accounts of strange phenomena on battlefields where Carthaginian forces were engaged. These weren't tales of overwhelming numbers or superior tactics, but of something inexplicable, something unsettling that preyed upon the very minds of the opposing troops. Imagine the scene: Roman legions, disciplined and hardened, suddenly gripped by an unexplained panic, their formations dissolving into chaos.
Soldiers struck by sudden disorientation, their senses overwhelmed, their minds reeling. Even more disturbingly, these accounts speak of physiological distress, of physical symptoms appearing among the ranks of their enemies without apparent cause. These fleeting mentions, these unsettling whispers from the past, have long been dismissed as mere exaggeration, the product of enemy propaganda designed to demonize a formidable foe, or perhaps simply superstitious attempts to explain away routs and defeats that defied rational explanation. The sheer unorthodoxy of such a weapon seemed to relegate it to the realm of myth, a fantastical embellishment rather than a tangible instrument of war. But what if these ancient chroniclers, despite their biases and limited scientific understanding, were in fact describing a terrifying reality? What if these strange phenomena were not the fabrications of fear, but rather the documented effects of a sophisticated, forgotten technology? Modern analysis, combining careful examination of battlefield sites with the painstaking decipherment of obscure Punic inscriptions, suggests a more complex reality. The persistent threads of these stories, appearing in fragmented texts from different sources and eras, invite us to reconsider what was once dismissed as impossible. Could these be echoes of a weapon so advanced for its time that its true nature was lost to the ages? A sonic device specifically designed to induce terror and incapacitate enemies without shedding a single drop of blood? This is the core of the enigma that is the Scream of Carthage. The very concept of ancient acoustic weaponry sparks intense debate among historians, archaeologists, and acousticians today. For centuries, our understanding of ancient warfare has focused on tangible armaments, on the visible means of destruction. To suggest that a civilization millennia ago could harness the invisible forces of sound for military conquest challenges our preconceived notions of ancient technological capabilities.
Yet, the theories attempting to explain the Scream of Carthage are as ingenious as the Carthaginians themselves were reputed to be. One prominent theory posits that Carthaginian engineers, renowned for their ingenuity, harnessed natural resonant frequencies.
This would not be an arbitrary use of sound, but a precise, calculated deployment. Imagine, if you will, elaborately designed trumpets, not merely for signaling, but crafted with specific dimensions and materials to produce frequencies capable of causing disorienting vibrations. Or consider massive resonating chambers, perhaps integrated into defensive structures or siege works, designed to amplify certain sound waves. These structures, strategically positioned, might have acted as giant sonic projectors. The theory suggests that these devices could have been amplified further by specific environmental factors, such as particular wind conditions, which could carry and intensify the sound waves, or even architectural elements within a city's defenses that could focus and direct the acoustic energy. The combination of engineered instruments and natural amplification could have created an overwhelming auditory experience, capable of disrupting not just enemy communication, but their very ability to think clearly and act cohesively. The idea is that specific frequencies, whether audible or subaudible, could interact with the human body and mind in profound ways, leading to the panic and disorientation so vaguely described by ancient scribes. This is not fantasy, but an exploration of the physics of sound, applied to the ingenuity of a lost civilization. Another perspective suggests a more psychological approach, focusing on the direct impact of specific auditory stimuli on the human psyche. This theory proposes that Carthaginian engineers understood, perhaps intuitively, the powerful effect of certain sounds on the human mind and body. They might have employed specific auditory stimuli, whether infrasound, frequencies below the range of human hearing, or high-frequency pulses, sounds at the upper limits or even beyond of human perception. While infrasound might not be consciously heard, it is known to cause physiological effects such as discomfort, nausea, anxiety, and even fear by vibrating internal organs. High-frequency pulses, on the other hand, can be intensely irritating, causing headaches, disorientation, and a profound sense of unease. Such effects are not dissimilar to modern crowd control devices, which utilize sonic technology to disperse gatherings or incapacitate individuals. The Carthaginian version, though rudimentary by today's standards, could have been astonishingly effective in a battlefield context where soldiers were already under immense stress and strain. A sudden, unexplained onset of nausea, dizziness, or overwhelming fear, seemingly without an external cause, would be utterly terrifying, shattering morale and cohesion far more effectively than any physical weapon. This wasn't about loudness, but about the specific quality of the sound and its psychological impact. A more radical hypothesis explores the possibility of rudimentary but remarkably effective sonic cannons. This theory speculates that Carthaginian technology, perhaps utilizing unique materials with unusual resonant properties or exploiting the specific acoustic characteristics of certain structures, could have directed powerful sound waves with destructive or incapacitating intent. While the idea of ancient cannons firing sound might seem fantastical, the principle relies on the sophisticated understanding of resonance and material science. Imagine specialized, perhaps metallic or ceramic, structures designed to vibrate at specific, powerful frequencies, focusing and directing these waves towards enemy lines. Such devices wouldn't necessarily fire a projectile, but rather a focused beam of sound energy. The effects, though not necessarily fatal, could have been devastating. Internal vibrations causing extreme discomfort, disorientation so severe as to render soldiers unable to fight, or even direct physical harm through sustained exposure to intense resonant frequencies. The implications of such a discovery would completely rewrite our understanding of ancient engineering and warfare.
However, a significant body of skeptics maintains that these accounts are purely mythical. They argue that the fragmented nature of the historical records, coupled with the lack of direct archaeological evidence of such complex devices, points to a simpler explanation. For them, these stories served as powerful propaganda, crafted to demonize a formidable foe like Carthage, portraying them as wielders of dark, unnatural powers. Or perhaps, these tales were simply convenient supernatural explanations for battlefield routes and defeats that commanders found difficult to explain otherwise. It is easy to attribute an embarrassing retreat or a sudden collapse of discipline. Or perhaps these tales were simply convenient supernatural explanations for battlefield routes and defeats that commanders found difficult to explain otherwise. It is easy to attribute an embarrassing retreat or a sudden collapse of discipline to an unseen, terrifying force, rather than admit to a failure of tactics or nerve. In this view, the Scream of Carthage is a fascinating legend, but nothing more. A product of ancient imagination and fear, not technological innovation. Yet, the persistent threads of such stories across different cultures and eras, not just confined to the Punic Wars, suggest a common, perhaps overlooked, technological possibility. Why would the concept of an unseen sonic weapon, capable of instilling terror and incapacitation, appear in such varied contexts if there wasn't some underlying truth or discovery that sparked these legends? The human capacity for invention, even in antiquity, is often underestimated. As we continue to unearth the secrets of lost civilizations, we repeatedly find evidence of ingenuity that challenges our modern assumptions about the past.
The meticulous detail in Carthaginian engineering, their advanced understanding of naval architecture, and their mastery of logistical challenges all point to a civilization perfectly capable of sophisticated innovation. To dismiss the possibility of an acoustic weapon entirely is perhaps to underestimate the depth of ancient knowledge and the breadth of their scientific exploration. The echoes of this lost technology, though faint, resonate through the centuries. They beckon us to look beyond the obvious, to question the accepted narratives, and to delve deeper into the unwritten pages of history. Could Carthage, a civilization locked in a desperate struggle for survival against the rising power of Rome, have possessed a weapon that literally screamed its enemies into submission? A weapon that harnessed the unseen power of sound to shatter morale, disorient armies, and induce fear, turning the very air into an instrument of war? Was the Scream of Carthage a forgotten marvel of ancient